So we've been married for 8 years, y'all. We've been together for 13 years. It's been a long time. We're very young, in our early 30s. So we met in our late teens, early 20s. So we're coming up on half of our life being together. So y'all know a lot of our story, but we punted our 20s. We decided we did not want to go traveling, go clubbing, go do all that kind of fun stuff and date other people and do a bunch of crazy stuff. We decided we wanted to stay together.
Yeah, so through our 20s, really early on, we decided that we were going to do something bigger, right? We were going to get out of working 9 to 5. We were going to kind of accomplish these goals to give us more options, more freedom, more control over our own experience from a day-to-day basis. And so during our 20s was really focused on making that happen, setting the foundations, stacking the bricks at the very beginning to figure out what that was actually going to look like. But I think what a lot of people don't know or think about, because it always sounds cute when you hear it, right? Yeah. But that's hard work, right? Yep. Being in your 20s, all your friends are traveling. We were probably the first ones married and with the child of our friends. So that was like really a time period where we had to grind it out. And I always tell people that the reason, to me, in my opinion, the reason why we kind of were able to navigate parenthood, navigate marriage, navigate business, like the ups and downs of all of the above, is because we had that conversation so early on about what we were doing.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. I think back to those days where we did sit on another couch in Connecticut and we were kind of brainstorming what we wanted to do, and we could always come back to that day and look at that vision board whenever we needed to. Everybody's different. Every scenario is different. Sometimes it works with a partner, sometimes it doesn't. You got to know who you are first. Yeah. And in your early 20s, even in your late 20s, and even now for a lot of people, maybe you watching now, you might not even know yourself to this day. So you don't know what strengths you bring to the table, and you don't know what areas you need help with. And honestly, sometimes it's hard to think about some of those areas you need help with. As a guy, as a man who's supposed to be the dominant and the masculine and the consistent, the bedrock, the foundation of a family, right, you have to know yourself. I have to know myself.
Whether it's you talking about what your goals and dreams are personally, your goals and dreams are from a business perspective, financially, all of those things, having those conversations with your partner really, really early on and being open about your fears and your desires is really, really important, because when we feel like our spouse isn't on the same page, I want to buy these houses, but my spouse doesn't want to, or my partner, my boyfriend,
we hear that often.
We hear it all the time. Yeah. They don't want to, they don't think it's a good idea, all those other things. A lot of times you might not be having a deep enough conversation to understand what about this aren't you for. It's more about how do you know and understand yourself, so that you can make sure you're comfortable as well as empowering each other to go after your goals. And that's what, for me, on conversations I have with whether they're our NEXTGen Accelerator mentees or whatever, it's about, really getting to the depth of what are your fears, what are your goals, and how do we communicate through that as a couple, so that we can best navigate what it's gonna look like to work together in business.
So when it comes to like having those real conversations about where's your mind when it comes to money. And I love that idea. Like, where's your mind when it comes to money? Are you of the scarcity mentality? Are you of the abundance mentality? Do you have a threshold where you need to see X number of dollars in a bank account for you to just feel comfortable waking up and not have that anxiety or depression or all those kind of negative feelings? And if you know those things about yourself and you're like, okay, well, that makes me a risk-averse person, then I need a partner, or I need my partner to be a little more risky, and I need to trust that person when it comes to being able to spend, knowing that it will come back because they're of the abundance mindset. Yeah, you want to make sure that you have the tools that you need to feel good, your partner has the tools that they need to feel good, and that your business is still growing and still thriving in the way that you set back when you sat on that couch and vision board and said, this is what I want my business to look like in 10 years.
Right, absolutely.
So keep up with us as we're going through our own marriage and exposing ourselves to you through the power of the internet and social media. You can follow along at Charm City Buyers.